I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update for Wednesday, March the 6th, 2013. Reuters reports that the United Nations said that about 20 peacekeepers were being detained by armed Syrian rebels in the Golan Heights on the border between Syria and Israel. The UN said they had sent a team to resolve the situation. The confirmation from the UN was in response to a video that was posted to YouTube today that showed Syrian rebels with a seized UN convoy. According to the Times of Israel, the rebels were negotiating with UN forces and demanding that the Syrian regime remove all of its troops from the area adjoining the Syrian side of the border with Israel. The Times of Israel also said there was a second video that shows the Syrian rebel leader accusing the UN, the Assad regime, and Europe of, quote, collaborating with Israel. The IDF's North Command released a statement regarding the peacekeeping force kidnapping, saying there is no change in security procedures near the border due to the event. This is an internal Syrian incident. Israel has voiced growing concern over the escalating conflict in Syria and its spilling over into Israel over the last few months, and has filed several complaints with the UN observer forces stationed on the border. Just this past Saturday, 3 Syrian mortars landed near an Israeli moshav in the southern Golan Heights with no damage or injury. Israel's Counterterrorism Bureau issued several travel warnings today to Israelis making their vacation plans for the approaching Passover holiday. In addition to ongoing travel warnings, the Bureau said Israelis should especially avoid the Sinai Peninsula, Turkey, and Tunisia. The Bureau also took the opportunity to remind Israelis that both Hezbollah and Iran continue to target Israelis traveling abroad, and Israeli defense officials believe that Hezbollah has established terror infrastructures in several countries that are favorite destinations for Israeli tourists, like Cyprus, Greece, Crete, and Bulgaria. The Anti-Defamation League expressed outrage yesterday over mock eviction notices that were posted on the doors of students at Harvard in an effort to promote an event on campus called Israel Apartheid Week. The campaign was organized by the Harvard Palestine Solidarity Committee, who posted the notices this past weekend. They read, "We regret to inform you that your suite is scheduled for demolition in the next 3 days," in reference to the group's claims of Israeli mistreatment of the Palestinians, specifically referring to homes that the IDF has demolished because they belonged to Palestinian terrorists. ADL Acting New England Regional Director Robert Treston called the tactic an attempt to silence and intimidate pro-Israel advocates at Harvard and other campuses. He said this is an example of how anti-Israel activism on campus can cross the line by causing supporters to feel isolated and intimidated. ADL New England Regional Board Chair Jeffrey Robbins said it is morally disgraceful to label Israel as an apartheid state because it constructed a security barrier to keep innocent Israeli civilians from being targeted with terrorism. This tactic of mock eviction notices is more calculated to mislead and offend than to shed light. And staying with the ADL, the organization praised Oberlin College for their response to a recent series of racist, anti-gay, and anti-Semitic incidents on their campus, including a swastika found on the Science Center, Black History Month posters being defaced with racial slurs, and reports of an individual wearing a Ku Klux Klan-style white robe and hood on campus. The college condemned the incidents and decided in response to cancel classes this past Monday and hold a community-wide solidarity march and rally and convocation addressing the incidents directly. The ADL praised the college's actions, saying they made clear that Oberlin is no place for hate, and said they were a model for other campus communities when they are faced with racism and anti-Semitism. Well, Comedy Central is not where you normally see Israel's ambassador to the United States, Michael Oren, but that's exactly where the ambassador made an appearance Tuesday night as a guest on the satirical talk show, The Colbert Report. Host Stephen Colbert asked Oren about several topics, including President Obama's upcoming visit to Israel and the threat of a nuclear Iran, with Colbert broaching the subjects with his unique sense of humor.
Now, Obama's coming over, whether you like it or not. And I know you guys don't like it. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Weird.
Now, What about Iran? When do you guys start bombing? Oh, wait, hold on. 1 second. Jimmy, hold on 1 second. Jimmy, just turn off the cameras. This is national security.
All right.
When does the bombing start?
You know, Stephen, no country has a greater interest in Israel in resolving the Iranian nuclear threat by diplomatic means. I mean, listen, we have the most skin in the game. I've got my kids there.
Right, yeah,
We're a small
you guys
country.
are there, right.
We're right there. We're a small country in Iran's backyard, and the Iranian leaders are every week threatening to wipe us off the map if they get these nuclear weapons.
And that's Shalom TV's news update for Wednesday, March the 6th, 2013. I'm Teisha Bader.